Peace, good evening. I'd like to welcome you back to another edition of the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your Foul Player. Wanted to talk about the crazy times that we're living in and how it's affected me in a personal way. Um, may not seem like a big deal, like to most, but it kind of is to me because of my past history, and I'll get right into it. When I was young, probably as long as I can remember, like even when I was like five, I have memories, vivid memories from when I was like 4 or 5 years old. Many. I have memories from when I was like 3 years old, even believe it or not. Um, Even younger than that, my first memory was my grandfather giving me a piece of cheese when I was two. But anyhow, I'm not sure if this could go back to like me being 2 years old, or this is more like when I was 5 years old. As long as I remember, like from five and up, I mean, like I always remember having dreams, and I had dreams every night, like for the most part. Like I would dream at least 5 times a week, let's say, and it was always weird ass dreams. Always. I mean, some were scary, but they would. Most of them were like on the like just weird. Like when I would explain it to people, like, and I wouldn't try to elaborate or I mean, or I wouldn't like add hairy details to my dreams to make them sound more outlandish. Like I just straight up explain my dreams to people, and a lot of times I'd hold back some of the details because they were so crazy. Um, but I was having dreams steady every day, no matter where I was, every country I went to, up until and before I even get to that. But I would have these crazy vivid dreams like sometimes they like some of them were scary. Most of my dreams were never good. I'm not gonna front. Like I would have a dream that was like here and there. Like I would have dreams that like I'm just doing regular hangout kind of stuff, or like stuff that's not scary, or stuff that's not even at the edge of my seat. Most of my dreams, I'm always at the edge of my seat, like kind of like in these like nerve wracking situations, if you will. But a lot of times I would just have dreams that were like standard, like cool, and like to me that was like the shit because I've dreamed so much. Like I would dream so much, and like the weird thing about this too, like which I would notice with other people, and which was definitely not happening in my dreams, is I wouldn't have dreams about like boning or having sex or like I would barely get them here and there. Honestly, and this is crazy. This is gonna sound nuts, but in my whole life, like I've probably had dreams like with like like um like with like sexual situations less than 10 times in my whole life. Probably about 10 times, honestly. And it was never like nothing like beating guts like that, or like, I mean, I'm sorry to be vulgar, but it was never like me smashing like that, let's say. It would be like me kissing a girl, like, and like, and when I was younger, like when you're younger, like when you first start, putting yourself out there when you're like 11 years old, if a girl kissed you, you like that would make like your whole week. You couldn't eat like when you went home, and you were happy with just that. So I would maybe have a dream of that ilk like once every 3 years. And I'm not even bullshitting. Like even now, like it barely happens. Like even though recently I had a dream actually yesterday that was sort of on the that spectrum, but not nothing like that. It wasn't crazy. Like it wasn't me beating guts, if you will. Like I would like to have dreams beating guts every night. It's especially like when I have these weird dreams. But let me get on to the weird part of all this, though. Is that the weird part of all this is that although I dreamed all the time, like since I was a kid, I stopped having dreams like right after the whole event of 2020, like a little bit after that, and like during the event of 2020, like when it first popped off, Like I just came back from I live in the New York City area, tri-state area. Um, but right when it popped off, I um I had just came home from California, and I got sick as a bird. Like I had the bug, I think, like the bad one. Like cuz I lost like literally like I think it was like 19 pounds over like 3 days. I was throwing up, going to the bathroom constantly. So I definitely had the bug, and I didn't have food in my house because I just got back from California. And it wasn't just me that went to California. It was me, my wife, my son, all went to California. Um, no food in the house. You know, I have pets too. I didn't have food for my pets or enough, and I was stuck in bed. You know, hearing about the shortages of toilet paper and stuff like that. And I'm always think that I have decent foresight with that stuff. Like where I try to be prepared. Like I definitely don't want to be caught with my pants down. But when I got back from Cali, I was sick as a dog. Like um, like I went out that weekend like to a club in Brooklyn. It was I think the club was called whatever, and like that was on a Friday or Saturday, and by Sunday I was sick as a dog. I was sick as a dog for like a week, the most sick I've been in my life. I didn't even know what COVID was. Like sorry for saying the word, but I didn't even know what that was like that. Like what the effects were of it were. I didn't have like a respiratory thing. Honestly, it was more like a real bad like flu. But I definitely thought I had it because I didn't know anybody that was sick like that, and people weren't really talking about it like heavy duty like that. Like right when people started talking about it heavy duty is right when I got sick. So for the most part, you know what I'm saying? Because I got on a plane a couple days before that, and my son was the one that told me about it. And I'm hip to the times, like as to what's going on in the world. And my son told me about it when we were going to Cali. Maybe I think it was he was telling me more about it when we were going back. But my son had heard about it, like let's say like January, and I wasn't like he wasn't worried, and I wasn't taking him serious. And he heard that it was something in China, to something to that effect. Anyhow, I got it, and not too long after that, I don't know if because of nervousness, um, that followed that. I don't know if it's because I had it, um, but I definitely stopped having dreams at that point. Um, like zero dreams. I mean, I'm telling you, I mean, I may have had dreams and not remembered it, but I don't think so because I would remember my dreams all the time, and I wake up at the drop of a hat. I'm not a deep sleeper like that. Anyhow, um, what's crazier about that is that now I'm having dreams again. Like I just started having dreams since July, and it's crazy too because this past July I got sick as a dog again. Like I had something I didn't know what it was. My guts were hurting. I was in Maine on vacation for 3 weeks, but I had to drive back to New York, and I knew I had to drive back to New York. Um, but I was stressed out about it because there was like a heat wave happening, and like every time I drive back from Maine to New York and back and forth, it sucks leaving Maine because Maine's beautiful, and it sucks going into New York because New York sucks, and it's a heat it was a heat wave happening again. But right at that point is when I started dreaming, and now I'm back to having dreams every night. Crazy dreams, nonetheless. Although I had like a breakup in the action where I had a dream with like to do with like chicks and whatnot, um, a couple nights ago. They're still weird. Even the one with the chicks was weird, but I can't explain it too. Some of them seem ominous. Like some of them like do end up playing out in my life. Like and I like and with my son too. Like my son believe it or not, like I mean he's not a big dreamer. Like my son I always ask my son, "Oh, do you have any dreams?" Like even when he was a kid, my son's a man now. But he'll always say, "Oh, I had a dream that I was playing video games." 'Cause my son plays video games a lot. But then a couple years ago, my son had a dream about a explosion, a bombing that happened in Nashville right when it happened. It was around Christmas time. I think it was like a Verizon building or something. If you guys look it up, you know what date it was. It might have been 2020. My son had a dream about that very thing, like as it happened. And he's not a big dreamer like I am, like or like I was. But I wasn't concerned about not having dreams because I mean, even though it was a big part of my life growing up, um, you know, when like since my dreams always were either shitty or nerve wracking, like I wasn't like missing my dreams, but um, it just went from like having him to not having him, and now all of a sudden, in the last like 2 months, I'm dreaming almost at the same propensity as I was when I was a kid. Isn't that weird? Um, Having said that, the last 2 nights, 3 nights maybe, I taken Benadryl like every night before bed because my I don't know I gotta put chapstick on my eyes because my allergies are driving me nuts. Even my dog has allergies right now because like the grass around here. I don't know what it is like where I live, but it's unbearable. Like the allergies that I'm getting. I don't ever get allergies at this time of the year. Now all of a sudden, I'm getting them, and I've had bad allergies my whole life. But I usually get them like in May and June. But now I'm getting them this year and last year um, in September. But it's unbearable. But the last 3 nights, um, I took Benadryl, and I didn't have dreams except for that. The one night that I didn't take Benadryl, it was like I took the Benadryl yesterday and the day and today. Had no dreams those days. The one night I didn't take Benadryl, which was one day before, the day before yesterday. I had the dream with the chicks, and then the day before that, I took Benadryl, and no dreams again. I'm not gonna keep taking Benadryl though. I don't like taking any sort of pills or drugs like that. Um, but it is strange though. Sorry about the way my camera looks. Something's wrong with my front facing camera. There's like a smudge on it, and I can't take it out. But I just wanted to do a video before I go live. But if you're catching this now, I'm about to go live in a few minutes, 10:30 Eastern time, as of this Friday evening. I hope you guys catch me live. And I'll talk about the New York City migrant crisis, in addition to all the other crazy shit that's happening in the world. But I hope to see you guys there. I hope you guys join me in the Foul Playland. As always, I'm Sir Foul Player of Brooklyn.